Welcome to April's Garage. Everyone is having a tough time. Cars are getting more expensive and car companies kind of pivot and they're making their cars cheaper. But one thing is happening at Bugatti and Jaguar. They're going the other way.
They wanted to. Well, one did it well and one is failing. Yes.
The one is about to embark on something. I think it's very exciting what Bugatti is doing.
Okay.
Are you excited about this?
Well, I mean, they're trying to be basically the modern version of custom coach-built cars, where these incredibly wealthy people, which they're getting more wealthy by the day. You want your own car that is basically your own name, your own design. We will build it for you for like $5 or $10 million.
But Bugattis are already that expensive, and the new ones that are coming out are right around that price range.
Right, I suppose you're right, but yeah, because they were $1 million 20 years ago, at least the Veyron, and then the Chiron was $3 or $4 million before the Super Sports and all that. Tourbillon is getting more expensive, but yeah, a lot of automakers, I think Ferrari doesn't do this too much, but Lamborghini will do some crazy kind of one-off or a few runs for just that big cash grab to varying success. But Bugatti seems to be doing it very, very well. Right,
they announced they're coming out with the Solitaire, which is a fantastic name, but they're going to be one-of-one cars that you can kind of build, curate yourselves. They're hand-built, obviously. All Bugattis are basically hand-built, but this one is going to be extra special with an extra special price tag. But I feel like, how do you even get in line to order one? Like, do you have to own 20 Bugattis to get in line for this one?
I don't think it's hard because of the price point. I think that yeah, you're probably waiting 18 months, 2 years for the whole build process. I think with the normal cars, like there's invitations to the chateau, and like Craig Jackson had his YouTube video with Barrett Jackson where he configured his, and so people do enjoy doing trips to France to the chateau to configure the cars and then see them birthed. You know, I mean, it's like how long does it take an elephant to like have a baby or something like that?
Where are you going with this?
Well, I like okay, it takes 9 months for a human to develop a child in their tummy, and you know, I'm not a doctor, but that sounds about right. But I think it's longer with larger animals like whales. I don't know, like does a whale carry a baby for longer? Jake can Google this real quick for you all, but I do believe it takes longer. So it's a car, it's larger, and you're birthing these things, and you're a billionaire. You already have your yacht, you already have your jet. You want 18 months. Jake Googled it. 18 months. I was right.
Is that for whales?
Thank you.
Whales?
Yes. So it's a similar thing. You get to create your own little big car baby. And
that's right.
Like how would you like to make a car baby with me? How would you?
That would be really exciting. But I feel like you would just take over the whole thing. You'd be like, no, it has to be like this. Like, can you share in creative control over it?
Well, I mean, you do all the decorations and stuff.
That's true. That's true. You're actually in so much trouble right now because our Arizona house that we got, which you are not in charge of decorating.
Well, I mean,
ever again.
I told this guy, I hired a guy to trim the bushes, and he.
Oh my gosh!
He trimmed them all right. He trimmed all right.
I actually cried because it looks terrible, and the huge bush in the back is going to hide that pool pump that's really loud. I feel like we need to get some bearing fixers. Well, anyway. This Bugatti, the Solitaire, they're giving us a little sneak peek. What do you think about that? I mean, it's a little hard to decipher what it's going to be.
I mean, is that the lower air dam, like the start of the Bugatti grille there, and they have it sticking out more? So is this going to be some crazy overstyle thing? That's the thing I'm worried about. Is Bugattis for the most part are very elegant and have sort of the classic lines that play tribute to the originals and all that stuff. Where Lamborghini, when they do these one-offs, they're just like these ridiculous like they're drilling on like pieces of fiberglass fins everywhere onto Aventadors or whatever to make them special. And even when they did a classy one like the Countach, people sort of rejected that as the obvious money grab that it was, because it was $2 million for like a gussied up Aventador hybrid system or whatever. And those are selling for under their MSRP. So it's interesting because I can't see secondhand, like, okay, you have this one-off Bugatti that you do to your tastes, and then you go and sell it, and you're probably not going to recover all of that money. But
the Porsche Singer and how they're all super custom
Yes.
one-offs. Is does the customer choose all of those specs?
Yes.
And so that would be a
For the most
similar
part.
thing with this. And the resale values seem to be really good on them.
Yeah, as much as people are struggling, to say $50,000 for a family crossover, there are people in that top 1% that are getting richer and richer because they're making much smarter decisions than me as far as my hoopties and wasting money and all that stuff. Because I've gone way the opposite way in the last couple of years. So
Yeah.
I would not be on their mailing list for like an invitation to, but all these people with so much money they don't know what to do with.
Yeah.
It makes sense for Bugatti to give them the option to blow 5 or 10 million on whatever their wildest dreams can come up with on a one-off Bugatti,
But
right?
they will have a long gestational period. Perhaps as
Yes.
a whale, it may take 18 months to order your solitaire.
Like a whale. So where Bugatti is, I think, killing it.
Right.
Because I think Lamborghini screwed it up because Bugatti's already very, very exclusive as far as their base level cars, already millions of dollars.
Right.
So that's what you're comparing it to. Where Lamborghini, when they do these fancy one-offs and these kind of things, it doesn't resonate because they just compare it to the car that you can buy for under 500,000.
Right.
I feel like Ferrari's sort of in the same boat with all their special cars and coming up with a special car every couple of months. And you're just confused, like which one's
true.
special, or is this the special one? Is this the next?
Hard to keep up.
Even though now they have an F80 now.
Well,
but
now it kind of makes you nervous to jump on that Ferrari because the value might not be there because they're just getting better and better and different.
Right.
It's going to stick.
Right, because everybody wants to like the F40 and the F50 or whatever. Like this is the obvious special Ferrari, and they're worth so much more than what they were new. So it's a good investment. But I think those days are over. You just have to buy what you really, really want, which is cool. It's nice to be an enthusiast and not be competing with people like speculating financially, I
Right.
suppose would be the thing.
Right.
But
I'm excited to see what this looks like. I know the Bugatti Atlantique is one of my favorite cars. They made about 4 of them. I think they can only find 3 of them, but those are super custom sort of coach built style back in the day. And there's a part of me that's like, they didn't have similar names, like Solitaire has nothing to do with Atlantique, but in my heart, I want it to look like that a little bit, have that long front hood that just kind of rakes back and this beautiful kind of fin that goes down the center.
I don't think they would move the engine to the front. That would be insane if they did. It would be like, what? But I somehow doubt that they'll be outside of their platform.
You're right, you're fine.
Otherwise, it's still mid-engine, and then they give it a really long nose. just because.
It'd be the longest car in the world.
I mean, I own an SLR, which is already like the longest nosed penis car on the planet. So like just to one up it. But where Bugatti's kind of killing it. Jaguar tried to do the same thing, and oops.
Oops is right, and their CEO is actually stepping down in November. He was with the company for almost 3 decades,
You think?
CEO for 3 years, and now he's stepping aside.
He okayed that horrendous ad.
Right.
To break molds and, whatever the hell they were talking with no car in it, and then unveiled the concept at the Miami Auto Show.
Copy nothing. That was their
Copy nothing.
theme for that.
They copied, the back of the car copied an air conditioning unit. And the front of the car looked like every, middle schooler's concept car drawing design.
Well, I thought it was interesting because inside the trim and stuff, they have like travertine sort of tiles and stuff like that, which that's so heavy, and so you're adding so much weight from like putting a rock inside the Jaguar, which didn't make sense. But I like the natural materials.
It's such an unforced error because it just let's alienate everybody that's ever bought a Jaguar before to never want to buy a Jaguar ever again.
Do you think it's going to sit with us though?
Well, we'll see. I mean, it's the biggest apology tour ever. But so the existing fan base, gone.
Right.
Totally gone. And the classic Jaguars have suffered as a result. It's crazy to see, like old E-type Jags, prices have tanked. I get that they're older cars and people are losing interest in them, but it's a pretty obvious, like, holy crap, it dropped.
Did you see a significance when that new ad came out?
Yes, absolutely. And then like recent sales I've been seeing of like Jaguar XJ220, which I have one actually right over here. Yes, look at this. We've been covering a few of these, but this was the fastest car in the world for a minute.
Right.
And they were trading for $600,000-$700,000. I think there was last couple we've had in a video where they've been like $400,000 or $500,000.
Sure.
Which there's so few of them. Then part of it, Because I was talking to somebody about it that knows the cars really well, and there's the parts availability, and there's sort of a gatekeeper for the parts that's not very nice. But it's so crazy that a brand has just completely imploded itself.
Right.
And they're owned by Tata Motors of India, and the company itself is doing really well. And Land Rover is doing very, very well as far as the company combined with Jaguar Land Rover. But a whole total giant reset with a new CEO, and we'll see what the next reboot is. I mean, because they paused making cars. That's crazy. Like, we're going to stop making cars for a year and completely reinvent ourselves. And I've never seen, there's never been a bigger failure since probably the Tucker torpedo, as far as the level of failure. The Edsel, yeah, absolutely. The Edsel is a great example.
Yeah. Are we going with what happened here?
Oh no.
No.
Oh, well, I suppose we have to, because people were in the car community were making fun of Jaguar and all that stuff.
Right.
But now with Trump weighing in on it recently and tying it to Sydney Sweeney, which is what everybody's talking about.
Right. Well, Trump said Jaguar did a stupid and seriously woke advertisement that is a total disaster. The CEO just resigned in disgrace, and the company is in absolute turmoil, is what he posted on his Truth Social. He also said Sydney Sweeney is the hottest Republican out there.
So he's politicizing it.
Right.
I mean, it's not Captain Hindsight, it's Captain Obvious.
Right.
It's so obvious that this was a really stupid thing to do.
Right.
And how this got through, and if the owners are from India and they just don't really understand Western culture as well, because if there was anybody above him that with any common sense, this wouldn't have happened.
Right.
So I mean, you call it woke. I mean, it wasn't really woke. It wasn't like the lesbian mobile or something like that. They weren't like outright saying that this is a woke car. It was, so I don't know.
Right. Yeah, we don't know, but we do know Sydney Sweeney.
Those are Subarus, I suppose. But they sell well.
They do.
They can sell well.
They sell really well.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sydney Sweeney is really hot. So there you have it. Thanks.
So you're agreeing with Trump. So you're agreeing with Trump's tweet.
Stating Captain Obvious that I think Sydney Sweeney is hot.
This is the end of April's Garage, because you just publicly said that.
You're talking about lesbian Subarus, and it just made me think of Sydney
Sweeney. I'm so scared to say anything that having to do with that man, because it's so divisive.
Right.
And you could agree with him saying the sky is blue, and you're an idiot. You're a villain for agreeing with him. But but you understand the other side and how angry they are. And I'm not really on either side of it. I just kind of watch the show and enjoy it, like I think most people.
But do you think
enjoy it? I say horror. There's a little bit of horror to it.
Do you think Sydney Sweeney is hot? Is the question.
You're way hotter.
You better say that.
You're way hotter.
Thanks so much for watching.
Way hotter.